It's September 20th, 2022, and you are listening to the Take the Over Sports Show presented by Live Casino. Let's go. Let's have a... Excited to be here and be back. Drew, welcome to the show here, everybody that's joining us right now. Drew, how was your weekend?
Hey, Derek, thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
My weekend was pretty good. Did you happen to watch any of those games on
Watched
Sunday?
all the games on Sunday.
The Jets. You're wearing your hat. You look like you're just glowing a little bit today.
Yeah,
actually.
I am glowing a little bit today.
I'm just now noticing
this is,
that.
I think my camera turned off, so it's just we got your camera and the main camera, so that's.
Do you need me to turn that one back on?
No. You can see if it's still on. That would be awesome if you see if it's still on.
Yeah, we can do some live on air troubleshooting.
We're just going to do this right now. The Jets did. For those of you that are listening right now, the Jets did pull it out this week. They had a probability of winning of like 99.9% chance of losing that game, and they turned around and won that game. Did it turn off? It's because it died. So if it's dead, we'll just go with two cameras. Is there still a light on there? Did you turn it off? There's an on and off switch there. Oh, geez. The show's falling. This show, it's a switch. Do you see the switch? No, that one. It's an actual switch in the front, like an actual. There you go. Yep. Oh, you're right there. Turn it. Yep. That's off. It's movies still? No, not movies. Keep it on still. Okay, it's on still. All right. Now the one in front of that. It's a small button in front of that. Oh, Jesus. This is. You know what? Just. No. Switch? No. It's. Oh, Jesus, that took way longer than it should have. Drew's like, let's make it a short show, and then we spent the first 7 minutes trying to figure out our technical issues here. We're good. Hey, we're back. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show here. Yes, I'm wearing my Jets hat. The Jets did pull it out this week. Sorry for the first minute and a half of that show. It just died again. You know what? Oh, no, it's back, and we're just gonna fuck it. We got a great show for you guys today. We got some big lines coming up here this week. Some great lines coming up here this week. Drew, we're just gonna run with two cameras because I'm not gonna deal with this for the rest of the show.
Thank you. You know what? I approve. I'll sign off on that request.
Perfect. Here we go.
After I couldn't figure out how to get the other camera working, we'll go ahead and run with two.
All right.
I approve.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm glad you approve here. So we'll do a lot from the main camera today because that way I can cut videos and things like that. Looking forward, the Steelers lost the heartbreak there in Miami, or sorry, in New England, in Pittsburgh against New England. We went 0-2 on our bet the house picks, which are typically our most confident bet of the week, which not been the case of late. We're 1-3 on the year, so we got to figure that out and do better. We got to be better.
I was thinking, I don't know if this is a better start to the show or that one that you forgot to record the first 3 minutes. I don't know which one's better in my mind. I think they're both equally as good.
Yeah, we were electric on that first 3 minutes of that show.
That was fun that one time. But the Steelers in Acrisure.
Yes.
They're so far, because that was
the home opener. It was the home opener in Acrisure.
So far, there has not been a single game. There's not been a single game at Acrisure Stadium that the fans have not chanted for Kenny. That 100% of the games at Acrisure Stadium have had Kenny chants. I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about it. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen this week. Short week. They're not gonna start Kenny on a short week. Next week, week 4, you have 9 days to get Kenny ready. That's my guess. My guess is 9 days you have to get Kenny ready. They're playing the Jets. I think they start him then.
Let me ask you this: what percentage of those fans that were chanting for Kenny also yell "shoot" at the television during power plays and Penguin games?
100%. 100% of them. Yeah, I mean the Pittsburgh fan base has been spoiled with good quarterback play. I don't think Mitch Trubisky's losing them those games. I don't think he's the reason that they're losing those games. I honestly believe that it's it's just a combination of people say that this Matt Canada's not getting it done, but you also have to understand that when you have no time to get your wide receivers to go, your wide receivers have no time to hit their routes because you have somebody in your lap for the first 30 seconds or 2 seconds after you snap the ball. Maybe Matt Canada should suggest that the defensive line start counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi before they rush the quarterback because they have no chance to get anybody open. So they might be longer developing routes, which maybe they need to start doing more slant pass things like that. They haven't let Mitch Trubisky throw it far down the field. But also, people are like, well, they don't trust Mitch Trubisky. I don't think they trust the offensive line to allow them to get that far down the field.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I don't think the offensive line can withstand a whole lot. They have less power than our third camera, I think. So the piece that I found interesting on Sunday was thinking about being at Acrisure.
Yeah.
That looked like I would have rather been taking a nap than been in Acrisure. I think that was a lot of what the fan base looked like as well. I mean, panning the camera around during before and after commercials, everybody's literally just sitting there. Like they're sitting there like there's not a whole lot to cheer for as a Steeler fan on the offensive side of the ball. So
yeah.
And then you have TJ Watt that's not playing. That takes away a little bit from the defensive side of the ball.
That hurts. And what it allows the defense to do is it allows the defense to stack the box because he's so good against the run that you can drop more people into coverage. Now you don't have that. You don't have that ability to drop people into coverage because you don't have that edge rush. Highsmith, whatever, you kind of have him, but you don't have that presence there. So I think it's going to hurt him. I mean, obviously that's a big loss. But at the same time, you gotta look better offensively than they did against New England. So that's kind of
the defense and especially even TJ leaving early in the week 1 game, but still you could see the body work he was putting together was game changing.
Better than what we had.
It's game changing for the Steelers. So to lose one of the top 5 defensive players in the game, I mean that's gonna hurt any teams, but especially a team that really has nothing else going for it.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of that, we have a Thursday night game again with the Steelers in it. The Steelers are in a Thursday night game this week, and I'll be honest with you, it's a good one. We got the Browns versus the Steelers. And if you're looking for a place to watch that game, hey, is there a better place right now than the Live Casino in Pittsburgh right here? You can go watch that. It's the only game on Thursday, so it will be on the entire media wall.
There's going to be a lot of media wall.
There's going to be a lot of media wall. You're going to see a lot of not TJ Watt. You might see him on the sideline.
They're not to be blamed for the coverage, though, because the Thursday night coverage did not get great reviews for Amazon.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
I didn't really watch a whole lot of it myself.
I watched a lot of it.
But what I had heard was a lot of negativity around the broadcast.
Well, I think anytime you change something, there's a lot of old people watching Thursday Night Football that are like, we can't find the game. It's like, you log into Amazon every day. How do you? It's a big banner on top of it. It says Amazon Prime. Watch Thursday Night Football. You click that, it's on your computer. People might not like it because they like to see it on their TV. You won't have that issue if you go down to the Sports and Social down there at the Live Casino and play some bets. So that's kind of what.
But do you know where's a good place to be if you don't enjoy the broadcast of a game?
In the stadium.
Or at Live Casino Pittsburgh.
Or at Live Casino. Okay, yeah.
If you don't enjoy the broadcast, guess what? Turn around. No more broadcast, and you're faced with an incredible amount of table games and slot machines
food options
that will help your poor broadcast blues.
And food options that will help your poor broadcast blues. That was hard. That was hard to say.
The PBB.
I'm gonna try to fix this real quick here. I got an option here that might allow us to so that this is all just on me, so that when I'm editing this, I don't have to edit as much, so it's easier for me to do it right now. All right, perfect. So I got it. I at least have a little bit of a camera here. So we'll go with that. It's not the best quality, but we will go with this for the time being. Perfect. Awesome. So let's hop right into the games here. And thinking on the fly here, Drew, you got the Browns versus the Steelers. You have the Browns versus the Steelers. The Browns are what is it? What are they getting? What's the
FanDuel,
4.5?
FanDuel has the Browns minus 4.5 at minus 112.
Minus 4.5 at minus 112. And all right, so let's start off there. How do you feel about this game? First takes.
Well, the Browns, I gave them an opportunity with my bet the house pick last week. That did not.
What'd they do to you?
What they did to the world. They were on everybody's radar for being up by a couple with a couple left, and then
first team to ever do that.
And then I mean, what more can you say besides the Browns?
Are gonna Brown.
The Browns are gonna Brown. So
is Joe Flacco elite? That's my question to you. Is Joe Flacco elite? You tell me.
The Browns. So
it was all the Browns.
This might be this is shaping up to be the worst Thursday night game in maybe the last decade.
Really?
Just with the Browns versus the Steelers. I mean, it's an intense rivalry
the Browns,
game.
Yeah.
But besides that, what are we going to get? I think we're going to get more, if we get more people sitting on their hands for a Browns-Steelers game, which could happen.
Right.
You're going to get people mad that Kenny's not playing because I don't think it's going to go well for the Steelers. I think minus 4.5 is not going to be able to contain the Browns. I think they are going to win by potentially 2 touchdowns. So I think I don't know. I think the
what happens if they put Kenny Pickett in halfway through the game though? Because if they're down, like you saw what the Buffalo Bills did. Buffalo Bills also treated the Tennessee Titans like they were the Ohio State University playing Toledo, and just bodied them. And then Josh Allen was out after the first half. He was out after halftime, basically.
When you're watching Kenny Pickett come out for the Steelers for the first time, just know that you're watching the beginning of the documentary. Like that's where the documentary is going to pick up.
All right.
Like, and there's going to be a voiceover from Liev Schreiber, and it's going to be talking about Kenny Pickett and how he has made this incredible return back to the starting position, the top of the depth chart in the city that he loves so much.
That'll be a good documentary. I can see the opening scenes.
Yeah, if Kenny comes in halfway through that game, it's going to end up the Steelers might win by 42.
No. No. Well, let's make some picks then. Since you think the Steelers are going to win by 42, if
Kenny plays, which I don't think he will, so that's why I'm taking Browns 4.5. Browns minus 4.5.
Drew's taking Browns minus 4.5.
Browns minus 4.5. Bet with your head, not your heart, even though it's a little bit of both, because I think the Steelers are going to be a little stuck in the mud until they make some changes. So I'm not saying that Kenny should start. I never said those words. But I think that the Steelers are going to need a little bit of change before they can.
Well, the hard part is now, if you start him now, You have the Jets next week, and then they have a gauntlet of teams coming up that's just brutal. So it is going to be difficult for them to justify starting Kenny Pickett with the teams coming up after the Jets, and you can't just put him in and then pull him for one. You know what I mean? So that being said, we've had a little bit of a slow start here. We were 6-6 last week, 6 wins, 6 losses. That's not good. I mean, it's not good, but
50% for bettors actually. I mean, really not bad.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. We hold ourselves to higher standards than other bettors. I feel like that's kind of
historically we have been beating the average,
and so that's what I want to try to do here again. So we also are undefeated on the take the over special. We're undefeated on that.
That's good news.
So yeah, it is good news. So that's where we make our own lines. We tease down we tease the line and we tease the over down a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do here. Because this line's so low, Browns money line over 31.5. You can get that at -115, and I think you go ahead and lock it in right now.
Wow.
Browns money line over 31.5. I think you go ahead and lock that in right now. I think that's where I'm at.
I actually have concerns that this game may not get 31
points?
Yeah.
I think they get to 31.
That's great. I'm glad you think so. I don't like the total on this
21
game
to 10.
It's 38.5 on FanDuel. That's good enough for me. That looks like a sucker total if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
38.5. No, thank you. I'll stay away from that. I'll just take the Browns -4.5, and then they'll take care of business.
So we got Browns.
I'm not gonna say we for the Browns, but yeah.
Yeah, we got Browns -4.5, and why don't we give a little bit of love to George Pickens getting his first touchdown in the NFL this week?
Very good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, George.
Yeah, congratulations, George. We called it here first. We're betting on that as well. So George, that's my player prop for the game. George Pickens with you,
and your spirit.
Is that you're Catholic? I wasn't Catholic. So looking ahead, then we have some Thursday, or we had Thursday night game there. We also have some Sunday games. I think there's a whole slate of Sunday games here. Do you have any games that jump out at you here that you want to talk about? Keeping in mind that we were undefeated on the Take the Over special, which is what I'm going to focus on a lot this week, I think.
Yeah, I think a couple of the games that stuck out to me is the second one on the docket is the Patriots at home versus the Ravens, and the Patriots are 3-point underdogs at home. So the Ravens, Lamar Jackson has had a couple of weeks where he's dazzled and he's proving his point that he's worth quite a bit.
Should be paid
on a contract. So. Does that continue? Do the Patriots, did they look that good against Pittsburgh? I don't think maybe they were that good.
No.
There was a lot of sloppy play in that game. So Ravens -3 sounds interesting. But I'll tell you what game sounds even more interesting is the Bills at the Dolphins.
Okay, Bills at Dolphins. What are your initial? I mean, that's a game that I would not touch.
The Bills at the Dolphins. The Bills look like they're not going to lose to anybody, which makes me think that they might lose to the Dolphins.
I know. It's a division game. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
And the Dolphins, I mean, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and that offense is looking absolutely insane. Like they do look incredibly prolific.
Did you hear what the coach said? The Dolphins coach. I think it's his name McDaniels. Is that?
Yeah,
we'll
go with that.
We'll
go with that.
He said, he said he has a play called the fuck it play, and that's when things are starting to break down. They just say fuck it, Tyreek's down there somewhere, and they just chuck it up, and they scored on that to turn the game around last week. It's 31. It was it's what 4.5, 5.5. Is that what their favorite is?
It's 5.5.
5.5. Okay, so you got the Dolphins getting 5.5 points in Buffalo or in Miami. In Miami, they're getting 5.5 points in Miami, and honestly, man, that they just seem like such a juggernaut now. I think they're a good team. I think Miami's a good team, but look who they played so far. They played a bad defense in the Ravens who completely collapsed. All right, now give credit to the Dolphins; they won that game, but they also, completely collapsed. So what do you do here? What's the over under in that game? Like 53.5?
53.5, and I think that's where you have to go.
Yeah, I think in that game, I honestly, if I were to pick a side in that game, which I'm not going to, but if I were to pick a side in that game, on my side is just cheer for points. And just hope that it happens. So what are you thinking here?
Over 53.5 for the total is -114 right now. So get it while you can because it could be at 55 by the weekend.
And so, both those teams are scoring an absurd amount of points here. I'm just going to pull up some stats here on our end here. But the Bills are on pace to score like 30-some points a game here. Let me see here, yeah. So the Bills are averaging right now, 36 points a game. And the Dolphins are averaging 31 points a game. First place in points per game is the Bills. Fourth place in points per game is the Dolphins. So you have that. That's not a bad. That's kind of an interesting stat there. But the Bills' defense is insane. They are second in total yards allowed. They are second in passing yards, only giving up 149 passing yards per game. They are first in rush defense, only giving up 66 yards a game. And they are second in points, only giving up 8.5 points a game. Does that concern you that they're only averaging 8.5 points a game right now?
Giving up?
Yeah, they're only giving up 8.5 points a game on average. Does that concern the over at all?
No, as long as everybody stays healthy, I think that no, not for Miami's going to be an offense that unlike anything that they're going to see. They have seen or anything that they're going to see. So, no, it's not concerning. I mean, that defense is also proving to be pretty prolific. But the fact that you have Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle or two among a trove of talent that's being hoarded down in Miami. Gesicki, and Tua time. I mean, Tua's looking like he's worthy of all the accolades he's gotten through his career too. So
I'm not a supporter. I don't buy it yet. I need to see it. I need to see one. I said this last week. I need to see one more week, and then I didn't realize they were playing the Bills this week. So this week will tell us a lot about the 2022 Miami Dolphins.
Sure. I think the offense is going to be present. I don't know if the defense is going to be present for the Dolphins.
So Drew's going over 53.5. I am watching that game. I'm just watching that game.
Yep.
A game that I like, that I'm not watching, that I'm going to throw some money on, is Chiefs at Colts. Is it at Indianapolis?
That
Colts?
is correct.
Yeah,
yep.
Chiefs at Colts. The Colts have looked absolutely terrible this year. They bring Matt Ryan in to right the ship. Matt Ryan has not been bad throughout his career. He's been pretty good. He's been pretty above average. Matt Ryan's been pretty above average. But they just cannot get it going. Last week, Taylor had 9 rushes, 54 yards. They lost 24-0 to the Jaguars. The week before that, they tied the Houston Texans. When the Colts saw their schedule in the first 2 games with the Texans and the Jaguars, they were like, awesome, 2-0. We got a Super Bowl winning team here. We got all the talent in the world to win the Super Bowl here. We're 2-0 out of the gate. They're 0-1-1. This line started at 3. It's already up to 6.5. I do think the Colts show a little bit more fight in this game, but I don't think they win. They had 9 first downs in that game. If you're going to give the Chiefs a bunch of 3-and-outs, the Chiefs are going to feed. They're just going to be if you're going to give Patrick Mahomes that many at-bats. So here's my pick. Chiefs money line over 40.5. Chiefs money line over 40.5. We're going heavy on the take the over special this week. We need to turn this ship around.
You're allowed to do that?
I'm like Matt Ryan first 2 weeks. I've been beat up. I've been battered. I need to turn this around. So I'm going Chiefs over 40.5 money line. What are you thinking?
I think that's great, Derek. I actually had this game penciled in before we started today's show. Do you want to know what I was thinking about it?
I would love to.
I was thinking that you could find yourself with a brand new house.
Oh, we'll save it then. Don't tell me your pick. You
listen to me later in the show.
I like that. I like the nice little tease there. Because you started talking about my bet the house pick earlier, and I thought, we're just gonna rip through that.
I like that.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm on that. I'm on the so right here on the Chiefs. I'm on Chiefs money line over 40.5 points. I think that gets it done.
Great,
I think that gets it done.
I think that sounds really nice.
I think that's one of those you just bet a lot of money on. You don't sweat it out.
But it's also another one where it could be. I mean, it could be a lot to a little, and one team might not contribute.
But the Chiefs don't take their foot off the brake, so I think they could put up 41 by themselves.
Gas, brake.
They don't take their foot off the gas either. They're recklessly driving out there. We should have. This is the first day. This is the first show we haven't drank before we did it, and I think it shows. The camera's dead.
I walked into a whirlwind. We started a 4:30 show at 5:30.
Yeah,
this has been great.
We were all stressed when we got in here. This is the worst. This is the worst.
So much going on.
How did we slur our words more when we're sober?
I'm starting a new career as an assistant baseball coach.
This is news. Are we breaking that right now?
No, we can't.
Oh, okay. He hasn't gotten hired yet, so I guess we can't break it. Hey, thanks for sticking around to this show, everybody. We promise you we're going to give you some winners here because you deserve them. We deserve them. Yeah, we have. We've given you a few. And the nice thing about that Browns one is, too, we can both win that one, so that's perfect. So here's a game I like, and I want to hear your thoughts on it first, Drew, okay? Las Vegas Raiders -2.5 at Tennessee, and if you watched that Tennessee game yesterday, I don't know how you have any faith in that team. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's the Titans, and it is the Titans is the one thing you have to remember is that it's the Titans. Remember the Titans? Great film. The Titans that Mike Vrabel coaches, which are the ones that are down in Nashville.
Yeah,
that team could be anywhere. I mean, we've seen this movie countless times over the last 3 years.
Yep.
Where they come out very flat, and then you get MVP Tannehill. He didn't get paid that much. It kind of was on accident, but he didn't get paid that much on accident.
Right.
Like he has skills that
can
show up, and
that translate.
Whenever you have Derrick Henry, I mean that is like the ultimate like Uno reverse.
That
like
is
you thought you were going to tackle somebody, guess what? You're going to get tackled, and you're on defense. It's like it's not how it's supposed to work, but that's how Derrick Henry works it. So any Tennessee Titans team could be out of the tunnel, and I think the Raiders. The Raiders. I don't think Carr's as good as people say he is. So I have a feeling this could be a little contrarian to what you're going with. But I think I'm thinking Titans +2.5. I'm thinking the Titans could even squeak this one out as a win at home.
Are you taking that as an official bet?
Titans +2.5. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I may. I'll take the 2.5 for now.
You took Titans last week. You said, "Don't text me at halftime when the Titans are down 24-7." And I think they were down 24-7 at halftime. I didn't text you. But it did not get better either. It did not get better either. So this one, is this recency bias for me? Probably a little, yep. But the Titans are 31st in the league at rush defense, which means they're going to have to load the box to stop Brandon Jacobs. When you tell me that, you're leaving Carr to find man-on-man coverage with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, or Waller. The other thing is they lost a bad game last week against the Arizona Cardinals. They lost a very bad game last week against the Arizona Cardinals in overtime. Kyler Murray was running around, finds a guy on a 2-point conversion. Should have probably never hit that. 2-point conversion. But he did, and then they lost it in overtime. They just have more talent. The Raiders have more talent, and they can't continue to lose games, especially in that fashion, with their being in the AFC West with the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Chargers and themselves. So they have more talent, and it's just. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for a monumental collapse against the Cardinals last week, we'd all be writing off the Cardinals at this point. Everybody would be like, the Cardinals are done. Kyler Murray should have never got that big contract, but it's not. And now we're here. So, but I'm not giving up on the Raiders. I've liked Carr. I think that he's got the weapons, and I think they win this game. 2.5 seems like a gift right now. It really does. 2.5 seems like a gift. It's one of the only true lines that I'm taking this week. So Raiders -2.5 is my pick. So we are going against each other here a little bit here. I'm sorry about that.
You did such a great job. I actually retracted my Tennessee +2.5 pick, and I changed it to Tennessee first half +0.5 point.
All right. So Titans first half.
So Titans first half. Yep. Or if you can get the +0.5, and if it's 0-0 tie at halftime, you still win.
I like that because I think
tied at halftime anyway.
Yeah, I think they could be close to halftime for sure. I think there's going to be some defensive adjustments or some game planning adjustments there. So Drew's on the Raiders, he's on Tennessee +0.5 at halftime. I'm in the Raiders -2.5, just outright. And is there any other game that you see in this slot here that seems to make sense for you or that you like?
No, not with the 1 o'clocks. That's good. Or you're also talking about just games?
Just games
spreads,
in general, yeah. Because I don't write them down in time slots.
Let's see. Jets are hosting the Bengals.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, actually, you know what? I lied. My bet the house pick is not the Ravens this week. So I'd like to go back to that and make a pick on that game.
Oh, please.
Ravens -3, for sure. Lamar Jackson's completing almost 65% of his passes this year. He has 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Mac Jones looks like he's headed face first into a sophomore slump for sure. The Ravens lost that game in a wild fashion last week, but they were also covering Waddle, Gesicki, Tyreek Hill. This week they got Myers and Aguilar. not the same team. Not the same. The Patriots defense is giving up 80 yards rushing per game, but they haven't faced Lamar Jackson yet. So I'm really confident about this one, which scares me a little bit, actually. But the Patriots are 1-5-1 against the spread in their last 7 games. The only game that they've covered was last week when they beat the Steelers in their last 7. So feed me the Ravens, -3 on the road against Belichick. I think Lamar Jackson just shows everybody the amount of contract he's worth right now this week, for sure.
Dang.
Mark Andrews.
I love that. Oh, I'm confident in that, too.
Yeah.
You've inspired more confidence.
Are you taking that pick or no?
Yeah, I'm taking that pick.
Let's ride.
Let's
ride. Ravens -3. We didn't want to do that. Everyone's doing that, but Ravens -3 I think is, and get it now because that line has to change. That line has to change. Let's ride.
Take the over. Let's ride.
Take the over nation.
Let's ride.
Day drinkers.
Let's ride.
If you bet your mortgage on the Jets.
Let's ride.
Last week, let's ride. Here we go. If you've followed our bet the houses, we're sorry.
You're not riding anywhere.
Yeah, you're walking.
You don't have any wheels.
You're taking the bus.
You're lucky to have legs if you're taking the bet the house.
Especially if you're betting with a bookie and not at a live casino.
But we can definitely turn that around, and we should probably ride.
We should ride.
Let's ride.
This week it was the hold on. Look in the camera. Say it again. Nope, this one. Yep. Your camera. Your person. Not that one. That one's dead.
Take the over nation. Let's ride. How was that?
It was. You'll see.
Okay.
It
felt good.
It did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked great. I don't know. I got one here that I want to talk about, I guess. Philadelphia Eagles -6.5 versus the Washington Commanders. How do you feel about this game? Is it still -6.5?
This game is still -6.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Eagles are very, very good. The Eagles are very, very good. Their defensive line is also very, very good.
And they looked good last night.
They just look good overall. And Jalen Hurts, I think, is the undisputed leader of that locker room. So it's something that as long as he's performing well, which even on the times that he doesn't, I think he handles that very graciously. But as long as he's performing very well, then it's just going to be a snowball effect, I think, for the whole year. So I'm looking for big things to continue coming out of Philadelphia, and I think that is going to continue against Washington.
You taking them 6.5?
Philadelphia Eagles -6.5. Yeah.
That's right. I like this game too. Here's why. Through 2 weeks, the Eagles have the most dynamic offense in the NFL. They're averaging 477 yards per game, which is insane. Almost 300 pass yards and 190 rush yards per game. Jalen Hurts is carrying that team, like you just said. This game opened at 3.5 and it's now at 7. Is it at 7 or 6.5?
6.5.
6.5.
Yes.
Okay, so there's some money coming in on the Commanders right now because it was 7 earlier today.
-110.
Okay, so it just switched. The Eagles have looked great, which is bad news for the NFC East because the NFC East needs them to not be great, especially Dallas. So meanwhile, I just don't think the Commanders are real. Wentz is going to throw picks. He's going to make mistakes. And the Eagles have weapons. You have Sanders, you have Hurts, you have Brown, you have Smith, you have Goddard. They just have the ability to stay on the field for an extended period of time, which helps, obviously. But the Commanders, I don't know if you know this. This is actually really interesting. The Commanders' offense is pretty good. It's 5th in the NFL, averaging 412 yards a game. They're 2nd in passing yards, averaging 307 yards per game. But they've also faced the Jaguars and the Lions. So the Jaguars game, they were back and forth. The Lions game, they were down pretty much from the beginning. So they're throwing a lot, and they're not afraid to let Carson Wentz throw a lot. And they have good wide receivers. You have Dotson, you have Terry McLaurin. They have Gibson. They have good weapons. So, but I still think the Eagles cover a touchdown. But for just a little bit more juice, you can get the Eagles -2.5 over 40.5, which just seems like such a no-brainer. So for me, my official pick, Drew's taking 6.5, Eagles -6.5. I'm taking the Eagles -2.5 over 40.5. So I'm testing this theory that we're really good at these parlays. That's my pick though.
Teasers from hell.
Teasers from hell, baby. You know, we got to figure something out because it's just been a little bit of a rough.
I like
rough
the direction you're taking that because it's a bet that I always enjoy because it seems like it feels so good to place it. It's like this
can't not hit.
It's the betting equivalent of grabbing straps and pulling on them after you've latched something together to a trailer. That's not going anywhere.
That's not going anywhere.
That's what and you but it's the opposite with betting because you think your money is going somewhere.
Yeah.
And coming back to you, it's like a boomerang. But I think those bets do feel good to place because you're like, there's no way this isn't gonna
right. And then it's
they're not gonna they're not gonna mess up 2.5 and 40.5, are they?
Yeah. And then it's 7-3 at halftime. You're like, well, what the fuck do I know? Because that's you know what I mean? It's 7-3 at halftime. We're like, well, we better find 37 more points here real quick, guys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Do you have any other games you want to talk about?
No, I've got my hot take. I might bet the house.
All right, we'll get some overs.
And some overs.
We got some overs.
And we need to find a parlay in there somewhere.
Yeah. So I'll start with some overs. But hey, some good picks here. Some good picks. I
already got my Miami Buffalo over 53.5.
Yep.
I'm on the board.
And you have the Eagles -6.5. I like so there was a lot of games that I wasn't sure about as far as like game overs and totals and things like that. One that I am sure of here is the Lions are playing this week and their team total over is 35.5. So the Lions are playing the Minnesota Vikings, who looked like they looked bad last week. But here's the thing, the Lions are scoring on average 35.5 points per game right now. They're second in the league in scoring. Minnesota had a bad week. A great week 1, looked lost in week 2. I think this could be an absolute shootout. But if it's not, I still think the Lions can get over 23.5 points. Also, Swift is averaging 10 yards a carry, which is crazy. Every time you give him the ball, it's a first down. Move the chains. And Jared Goff is playing great. So give me the Lions over 23.5. Go ahead and lock that in.
Nice 23.5 there for the Lions. And a game that's the total on that game's 53.5, so they're going to have to pull a little bit of weight, right?
Yeah.
And that they are a team that also never
quits.
Yeah, they're in it.
We could backdoor that one.
Absolutely.
We could backdoor that one.
They could have 7 points for 55 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
And they could end up with 30. So that's something that I think that I like that pick a lot. I've got my over Miami Buffalo 53.5. I think that looks nice. And I was looking at some of the shallow or the shorter overs that we would have to clear for this week. And do you know that the Packers at the Buccaneers, do you know what that one's at right now?
It's got to be like 42. I think I saw it at
41.5.
41.5.
Yeah. So 41.5 on FanDuel's -110. That's one like that's a sucker over, a sucker total, like I was talking about before. But I am.
You a sucker?
Yeah, you're looking at him. So the Falcons, the Packers at Buccaneers.
He said, "I am a hey." That's a sucker total.
But I am one.
But I am one.
They are who we thought they were. And that's going to be 41.5. Packers, Buccaneers over
41.5.
And
how? Hey, listen, I want to. Hey, I'm not taking that yet, but I will be on that. If it changes, like if it gets to like 42.5 or 43, I'm in on that one. If it doesn't get to 41 or 42 or 42 or 43, then I know there's a lot of sharp money on the under. You know what I mean? Because that's such a low line for Aaron Rodgers, for Tom Brady. Mike Evans is out. He got suspended for a game for fighting, but they're bringing in Cole Beasley, who was great in Buffalo.
I loved Mike Evans going at the referee, though. If you read his mouth, he said, "That's Tom Brady. What do you want me to do?"
Dude's 90. It's like when Bob Barker got beat up in Happy Gilmore.
He's telling the refs, "That's Tom Brady. What do you want me to do?"
You got to fight him. I think
the refs just had to pick up the flag at that point. Yeah, there's nothing else.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mike. Okay, everybody, huddle up, everybody. Huddle up. I love that 41. Like, dude, we were suckers for the Jets over 40.5 last week, and what happened? It got to 60. So, 41.5 is not a bad play. I'll never fault you for that.
Thanks, Derek.
If it gets to 42.5, let's ride. That's where I'm at. If it gets to 42.5, let's ride. I'm actually gonna make that. I'm gonna make that a video. So every time we want to just say it, like the clip, I'm gonna clip that, make it a video. So I just have a button on here. It's just Drew looks like it. Let's ride. So another over I have here. I actually have 2 more overs. Cardinals versus the Rams. That game's under 50 right now. It's under. I think it's 49.
Cardinals versus the Rams.
Yeah.
That is at 49.5. Yep.
49.5. It was 49 when I wrote this down. So, and Tuesday line moves, it's going to happen. Like the Tuesday, they're not going to be the lines you can get on the weekend. So, the Rams played against an offensive juggernaut in the Bills the first week and got beat badly, right? Then they played the Atlanta Falcons last week and almost lost that game. Backdoor cover. That we hit that on a take the over special. It was 17.5 over 42.5 or something like that. We hit that. As it stands, the Rams are giving up 29 points a game. Cardinals have a really good offense, and they have a dynamic quarterback that can elude the run there, kind of get away from Aaron Jones and Aaron Donald and things like that. So the Cardinals have played the Chiefs and the Raiders and are giving up 33.5 points per game. That's the worst in the NFL. The Rams have a good offense. The Cardinals have a terrible defense. This one just sticks out to me. This game's getting over 50 by a mile. I don't like taking lines that are that high. Drew loves it. Like if he sees the Los Angeles Chargers versus, whoever, Oklahoma, doesn't matter. He's like, that's going over. You love taking over 50. I hate it.
53.5. I got one on the board right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You love it. I was thinking about this all week. I was like, Drew has balls to take those big lines.
It's not high enough for me, buddy.
Because you start out with 0, so then you have to get all the way there. At like 40, we can get there.
Cheer for points.
Nothing
more electric.
Over 49.5. I'll take it at the hook. Over 49.5.
That's going to be good.
Where I'm at.
That's going to be good. I appreciate that. I appreciate the 49.5. And whenever you see the high line like that, you got to think like, okay, well the experts think that they're going to put up some
bad
points.
Defenses.
They're going to put up some points.
Good offenses.
So why wouldn't they put up just a few more points than they're expecting? So, I think that total works for me too. 49.5, I don't know if I'm going to take anything there.
If you don't like that one, can I interest you in this one?
Rams have been sus this year.
Yeah, they have. Can I interest you in this one? If you don't like the over 49.5,
go ahead.
The Cardinals team total is only 22.5.
Yes.
The Cardinals team total is only 22.5.
Immediately, yes.
Cardinals team total. Should I just take the Cardinals team total?
Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
You want me to answer that?
I do, kinda. Right. Do I take the over at 49.5 or do I just take the team total at over 22.5? One of them's going to hit and I'm going to kick myself in the ass.
Right, hold on. I had given this question no thought before you brought it to my attention. Let me think about that.
Well, I don't know how you would have given it thought.
Do what you think is right.
That's not an answer.
22.5.
22.5.
Yeah.
Cardinals over 22.5. All right. Change my pick. I lean over in that game total. I lean over. That's all right. I don't need to hear it. I lean over in that game total, but I like the total over 49.5. I love the Cardinals over 22.5. That's my pick.
Nice.
That's my pick.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
I'll take the 22.5 as well. That doesn't that doesn't sway me or scare me at all. I'm not going to do anything with the total for the game, but the over 22.5 for Arizona I have written.
It seems low,
here.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Especially watching Kyler Murray run around and literally make something out of nothing.
Somebody said on the internet, they said Kyler Murray runs around like like a little kid that just stole his parents' cell phone. That's pretty accurate.
What do you have?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
A knife.
A knife? No.
That's Kyler Murray.
What? Do you have any other overs?
Nope, that was it for me.
Okay, can I do one more?
You can.
Just because I like this one.
As long as you have enough film.
I'm taking a lot of picks. Let's say they're going to bite me in the ass or be really good. Falcons are scoring 26.5 points a game. So far, they played two of the best defenses in the leagues, in the Rams and the Saints. Rams. They played the Rams. They put up 27. They played the Saints, and they put up 26. They put up more points against the Saints than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did last week. The Seahawks, despite how they looked on week one, they're very average defensively. Now they lost Jamal Adams. They're very average defensively. The only thing that scares me is this game is in Seattle, so they have the 12th man, but I think they can do it. I like the Falcons at over 20.5 points. I like the Falcons at over 20.5 points.
And the total in that game is 41.5.
It's only like a 1.5 line, right?
And that's what's being underrated about that is that's a Mariota homecoming. Like that's Marcus Mariota going up to the Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah,
Oregon.
Yeah,
like that is going to be like a home game for him. He's probably going to have a lot of family
there,
and stuff there. So I think that's more motivation to play well. And I think that the Falcons are going to beat the shit out of the
I think
Seahawks.
Falcons win that game.
Yeah.
It's not an official pick for me, but I think the Falcons win that game for sure.
Yeah, I think Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons money line on that game.
Oh, we got a pick. All right, Falcons money line for Drew. All right, so now we just have it's a little shorter show today. We started a little bit later than we intended because as you can see, the studio is falling apart. So we're working on it, guys. We're working on it. We're amateurs here. I have a few picks here for the so we have a parlay. You want me to give my parlay while you look up one, or do you have one
go ahead.
All right, cool. So I like this parlay. It's just a money line parlay, and you don't got to get fancy. You don't got to get fancy with this one here. Last week my parlay didn't do great, but I like this one here. I like Ravens money line. Obviously, I think that they're so much better than the Patriots this year. I think the Patriots squeaked a win past a very average Steelers team last week. So I like the Patriots. I like the Ravens money line. I like the Chiefs money line. I think the Chiefs are going to absolutely crush the Colts this week. So get them on the money line. You have nothing to worry about there. And then this one is the one that makes the juice. It has the juice a little bit better. I just got to see who they're playing. Okay, so I have the Houston Texans money line. So they're -3 against the Chicago Bears. The Texans have been one of the best teams at covering in the NFL all season and all last season because no one was giving them a chance. So I got Ravens money line, Chiefs money line, Texans money line. That's +380. Go ahead and get that now. Drew?
Wow. I think I have 3 money lines as well.
Okay.
One of them I'll start off with is opposite for you because I have the Bears money line.
Okay.
The Bears money line at home versus the Texans. I think Justin Fields is going to be okay to lead them.
I want him to be
home.
good.
I
want him to be good.
I think we're going to see a little bit of different flavor. Also, money line San Francisco 49ers at the Denver Broncos.
Love that.
Russell Wilson stinks.
Yeah. And Trey Lance is out for the year.
And so Jimmy Garoppolo's good.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to go very well in San Fran. And then Baltimore Ravens on the money line as well at New England. Those 3 together is a 3-leg parlay +393. So nothing crazy, but that's a nice little return right there.
Heck yeah. So just a question for you. I know that the locker room has had Trey Lance's back. Everybody said it. He's prolific. He's great. He's going to be really good in this league. They always say he's going to be really good in this league one day. They never say it like straight up like, oh, he's really good right now. You know what I mean? He's going to be really good in this league one day. They kept Jimmy Garoppolo there. The locker room immediately has to be like, all right, well, that's not the worst thing that could ever happen to this team, right? Like instantly the spark that he ignited, they won that game going away last week. Mm-hmm. So the spark that he ignited has to have looked good. You know what I mean? Like they have to have confidence in him. They got him to a Super Bowl, got him into an NFC Championship game. They're not going to miss a beat, right? They'll change up a little bit, run more. Now they're getting Kittle back this week.
I always find it interesting, and I don't know how to quantify something like this, but like the mood in a locker room, right?
Yeah.
Like it is a living, breathing environment.
It is.
that you have. So you have protractors and detractors and
John Deere
protagonists,
tractors,
antagonists, and all sorts of agonists, and the part that plays, I mean, everybody plays a role in the success, and I think at this level, at the NFL level, it's treated like a workplace pretty much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say it's considerably less, if you want to call it cliquey than college,
right?
Because everybody is there for a paycheck and it's their job and their livelihood, and
no one's mad about being second string because they're still getting millions of dollars.
You don't think?
No, I mean some people would be, but at the same time,
they're still playing for their next contract,
now,
right? They gotta believe that they're that good.
They do,
and so that's what. So just all that goes to say, Jimmy Garoppolo coming in, it's Trey Lance plays into that. Like, how does Trey Lance support him? What's Jimmy Garoppolo's attitude as he's taking this job?
Yep.
Is he just like doesn't give an F, like,
right?
Because that could be a very positive thing for him, a very big pro in the pro column. Just him.
What happens
going in and really not that he's not caring, but it is going to be what it's going to be.
It doesn't have a choice at this point. Now here's the question: what happens when Jimmy G gets hurt? Because Jimmy G hasn't played a full season since Vietnam. So
is Nick Mullins still there?
I don't think. I think he was with the Eagles last time I looked.
Find the San Fran depth chart.
So while we're doing that, yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing because they're going to have to find somebody. But, I mean, the good news is that system they run up there is really friendly for the quarterbacks. So they'll have somebody that can kind of come in there and look.
They're fine.
And who's their third string?
They're fine. Out of Iowa State.
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Round 7, pick 262. In
they're fine.
Draft.
They're fine.
6'1", 220.
Yeah. It's next Big Ben. They're fine. So now we did our parlays there. So my parlay, just to run it down real quick, is the Ravens money line, Chiefs money line, Texans money line, Drew's. So we both can't hit this one because Drew's got the Bears money line, San Francisco money line, and the Ravens money line. Follow your heart, pick whichever way you want to, and go from there. And now we have our Bet the Hass pick. And Drew, you kind of teased yours already, so why don't you go ahead and re-tease it for us here? Give us your Bet the Hass pick.
If you have a house that you're willing to put up on the market and place a wager of equal amount at the FanDuel Sports Book at Live Casino, I have just the bet for you. For a one-time payment of one house, you can find yourself with a second house of equal or lesser value. If you take Kansas City minus 6.5. It's as simple as that. You take that to the sports book, you place the wager with the kind folks down there, and you will find yourself with two houses at the end of the 1 o'clock window on Sunday. The Chiefs are at the Colts. I think that the Colts don't really have much of a prayer, let alone to come within 6.5 points of the Chiefs and only lose by that deficit. Potential, but if it's going to be anyway, it's going to be backdoor, and I'm not looking forward to that. But Kansas City minus 6.5. Thank you very much, Derek, for having me on the show.
We still have a hot take. We'll do that one quick, though. Here's my bet the house. It's important to remember when you're betting the house that it's your most confident bet of the week, that you're betting with your brain and not your heart. Okay? Because if you bet with your heart, you lose money and sanity. So with that being said, the Cincinnati Bengals minus 4.5 against the New York Jets. If you tell me last February or January that if I said the Jets and the Bengals play week 3, what do you think that line will be? Last year, not seeing the first 2 weeks this year, 10.5 maybe. Bengals minus 10.5.
Double digits.
Yeah, for sure. So it's 4.5. It's 4.5. The Bengals have been very bad at everything this year. They can't block. They lost to the Steelers with Mitch Trubisky. Burrow had 5 turnovers in the first half. Then they lost to Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. And that game wasn't close. They never had a chance of covering that game.
That was actually kind of scary.
I honestly thought that Cooper Rush will probably be good for a week or two until the teams get film on him. Then they'll start picking him apart. But I really thought that they were going to be all over that. I read this on the internet too. Joe Burrow has more sack yard. He's been sacked for more yards than Najee Harris has rushed for yards. Joe Burrow has been sacked 13 times for 73 yards. Najee Harris has carried the ball 25 times for 72 yards. They aren't the same team as last year. They spent more money on their offensive line, and it got worse somehow. So, Joe Burrow will be running around for his life. He gets hit more than an emo kid in a mosh pit. Like it is what it is.
Helicopter fists.
But wouldn't be this week. They turn it around. They playing the Jets, who beat the Browns, and the media is finally saying all week. The media is finally saying, "Oh, it's not the same old Jets, not the Sets." But just 7 days later, they get the doors blown off them by the Cincinnati Bengals, and everyone's like, "The Bengals are back!" So here it is. Yep, this is what they'll be saying Monday. Book it. Bengals are back, baby. Bengals are back. Bengals minus 4.5. Book it.
Welcome back to the show.
Book it.
Do you want to hear my hot take real quick?
Yep.
Philadelphia and Kansas City are both going to win by 20. Parlay that together, it's plus 1970.
Jesus. All right. I'll give
Philadelphia minus 19.5, Kansas City minus 19.5.
KC minus 19.5. What?
2-game parlay.
Plus what?
1970.
All right. I'll give you mine real quick because I know you got duck pin tonight. Here we go.
Thank you.
Last week was the first week since 2011 that the Jets, the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Lions all won in the same week. Over a decade. Run it back. What if it happens this week? If it happens this week, parlay those together. Jets, Giants, Jaguars, and Lions plus 5,002 odds. Plus 5,002 odds. But here, the Giants play at Dallas with Cooper Rush. They could win that one. All right? The Jets play the Bengals. They could win that one. The Jags might play the Chargers without Herbert. They could win that one. And the Lions play the Vikings. And after yesterday, who the hell knows? Jets.
They could win
Giants,
that one.
Jags, Lions, plus 5,002. And I can't wait to cash that. Thank you guys so much. That's our show. We do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to us at any of us. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Take the Over Sports Show. Road to 1,000, baby. We're trying to get there. So your subscribe would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, please do.
Greatly appreciated. Good luck this weekend.
I'll pay for your subscription.
It's $0. Good luck this weekend. Drink some beers. Hit some bets.
Keep the Rays in Tampa.
Hit some overs. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Take the Over Sports Show. Reminder, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.